kind of linger as we go. How's it going?
So, from your perspective, what was it like just assembling this recruiting class, the first one?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. We have a great group of coaches that do a really, really good job connecting with the recruits, connecting with their parents. When we first got here, coach in January, I got here in February. It was tough because you missed that first signing day, you missed the first portal window, so you're kind of having to build it as you go. What was nice here is we were able to spend the spring, spend the summer, and then obviously the fall really putting our teeth into some of these high school guys. So it was good. It was good to be able to have today and be able to celebrate them and their families. But we're a long way from the end. This is really the first step, of another, call it 9-10 months before we finish building this team for next season.
Is it nice to get this out of the way before the portal opens so that these guys are kind of locked in, and then now you have the movement that's going to come of guys leaving and what you need to fill?
Yeah, I think so. And we're still having conversations with our players daily, with their exit meetings with their coaches or exit meetings with Coach Brennan. And, the key to college football is being able to do lots of things at the same time, right? So if we just focus on the recruits, then obviously less focus on our players. So we're got to have to do a little bit of everything. But it was nice to be able to get those guys, have their day, celebrate them. Some of these high school guys are still playing. So that's a unique for them too, is having to deal with this on a signing day and having a game on Friday night. So, but it's been a good experience. But and then we'll turn over to Monday when the portal opens officially.
How would you describe your role to people that really don't maybe understand what it is you do?
Really, my role, honestly, as any support staff, regardless of what your title is to help out the coaches and the players in any way possible, right? And that's very broad, but as a support staff member, that's what we do, right? And then specifically to my role, it starts with roster management with Coach Brennan and balancing the roster and his vision. Obviously, in the scouting process, it's identifying talent, evaluating talent, and then the ultimate is recruiting it. It's critical, right? Because we don't draft these guys, we recruit them because they ultimately have to say yes to us. So the relationship aspect with the parents and the coaches is critical. So it's kind of, the role's changed over the years, but at the end of the day, it's still recruiting people that you can have to come represent your program and represent the head coach, and that's kind of what we do.
How hard has it been to manage the noise around this program the last few weeks when you're dealing with families that and trying to get their kids to come here?
I don't think it's been an issue at all. I think the University of Arizona is a great program with a great history of athletic success and academic success. We live in a great town. I got 2 little kids that live here, and we really, really enjoy it. So we look at the positives, and like I said, selling our coaches, selling Coach Brennan and his vision. It's an honor for me to be here, and I think a lot of the kids think the same thing. And in football, you always want to continue to build your team and build your program, and no matter what, you want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward, and that's what we do every day, regardless whether you're in season or out of season. And that's what our job is, regardless of the outcome on the field. Is from a recruiting staff's perspective, is we have a job to find the best players we can for the University of Arizona.
I just want to ask you about a specific guy. We looked at the film of Case and Brown yesterday in our national guys.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you have a guy like that committed to another school, not many offers, and what's the process of finding specifically him and realizing a talent?
Like Coach B mentioned in his press conference, that one started with Coach Akina and the relationships in Texas. He went to Texas during the bye week, kind of found the name, and then we dug into the film. But when you've got a kid who's a 3-sport athlete, he's a 2,000-point scorer, he's a jumper and a sprinter on the track, he's a phenomenal defensive football player, and then you get to know his family. His dad's his head coach, so he's going to get coached really well. He had a game last night. He went for 24 points and a win. So that's part of the process. So the relationships with our high school or with the position coaches are critical to get the names, and then you evaluate them. For us, it's about knowing the kid, knowing the traits, watching the film, who they've been offered by, who they haven't been offered by. That really is not part of our process, because I can give you 1,000 examples of big offer guys who don't pan out, or the opposite, guys with no offers that turn out to be great players. So that's not really a part of our process.
What's it been like for you having to navigate those conversations regarding rev share and NIL? How much does that get talked about?
Yeah, like Coach Brennan said, it gets talked about a lot, but ultimately we want people to come here for our coaches, our community, and our school. the financial aspect is part of modern college football, obviously, but we want, old school recruiting. We're going to recruit off relationships, and we want kids that want to be here, that love to play and fall in love with the university. That's going to be what's most important for us.
How would you describe the timeline to fans and maybe fans that just maybe don't understand what that's all about?
I was talking to someone the other night about it. I think signing day traditionally was the end of a recruiting class, where now it really is the start, right? So we're going to have signing day, which is today, obviously. We'll have a December portal window. We'll have another signing day in February, and then we'll have a spring portal window. So we still got a lot of work to do. This class is nowhere near done, and the retention of our team is nowhere near done. So this is just the first leg, if you will. But we still got a lot of work to do.
Your roster probably, would you say, won't be complete until August?
First day of fall camp.
Yeah.
Yep. First day of fall camp. Which is, there are positives of that, like being able to have the flexibility to continue to add players. In a perfect world, you'd have it set before that, but that's just the modern game, and it's part of kind of what we do in team building.
How important was size